Metal Slug!
We're back. I had one hot chip. Pretty nice. Not two, but one was pretty good. Alright, said we'd do Khorne. It's time to do Khorne. And this one's gonna be kind of fun. I found Khorne to be pretty good. The stats say otherwise, but maybe that's true. They kept Blood Tithe. Start the battle with 0, earn 1 each time a unit is destroyed, but not a faction terrain and not a manifestation. Reaction: opponent declared a spell ability, Spell Eater Curse. You can only use this ability if you have not used any Blood Tithe this turn. Cost 2, spells unbound. This used to be bread and butter, you just used it all the time, and it used to not actually say unbound, and so it could unbind stuff that couldn't normally be unbound. What I'm trying to say is it used to be cool. It's still good to counter spells, obviously, right? But Murderlust is so ridiculous that you really do want to be doing that thing. Any movement phase, Slaughter Triumphant. Only use this ability if you have not used any Blood Tithe. Spend 8, pick 1. Add 1 attack characteristic, melee weapons used by friendly Blades of Khorne units for the rest of the entire battle. Let's go. Huge. Pick a friendly non-unique Bloodthirster. Why not? I guess because it has to set up a replacement, and if it's unique, then the guy's just dead, right? So, hey, Scarbrand BTFO. Set up an identical replacement, 9 from all enemies. Murderlust, any movement phase. You can only use this ability if you have not used blah blah. Spend 1 Blood Tithe point. Crazy cheap. And pick a friendly Blades of Khorne unit that is not in combat, and it can move 3, and it can move into combat. That last sentence is bullshit. I say, as the army that loses if I don't get a charge. That shit's annoying. Combined with redeploy, holy. Really, really good. Kind of nice with it. And then any hero phase, Brass Skull Meteor. You spend 4, roll 8 dice for each 3-up, inflict immortal damage on the target. Enemy unit that is visible to a friendly Blades of Khorne hero to be the target. And so the final one is Heads Must Roll. You can use this for 6 in a combat phase, and you add +1 rend, which is a good bonus, but 6 is a lot. There was this game that the control scheme was so ass, my brother and I returned the rental, and like an hour later, it was The Adventures of Cookie and Cream for PS2. The Adventures of Cookie and Cream, huh? I can't believe that game has bad controls. Who would have guessed? So for a recap of Khorne battle traits, Spell Eater Curse is pretty good. Murderlust is the best and the cheapest. Who knew? The other stuff you will sometimes use, maybe. But at least in my games against it, it was all about the Murderlust. Really strong. Moving into combat, ridiculous. Very cheap. Your mind is so open to Warhammer Fantasy, you got a Marathi tattoo on your whole upper left arm. Post it in the Discord if you wish. Big Cream on YouTube? Yeah, exactly. This man has a snake sleeve. Not bad. Battle formations, I can't remember what these do, so I'm going to have to be reviewing them while we're reviewing them together. Once per turn army as a reaction. You declared a fight ability. with a demon. Pick a friendly bloodbound unit that has not used fight within 12. You can pull them in, but they don't get anything special out of the deal. This is sort of like the old Council of Blood in a certain way, the old battalion. Strength through slaughter. Strength through S laughter. Friendly non-monster, be okay. Demon uses a fight. It has ward 5 for the rest of the turn. Cool, ward 5's good. But your opponent gets to fight first on their turn, though. That makes that a little worse. Has to be non-monster, but a demon. That makes that a lot worse. Bloodbound is mortals. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. They all have blood in the name. It's hard to keep track. Apologies. Demons let mortals fight as long as they're close to them. Brass Stampede. Frank talks about this a lot, but I haven't seen it on the table, and I don't know what he's trying to do with it. If the unmodified charge roll for it is lucky, it has strikes first. That's kind of whatever, and random. I guess it's really good on the opponent turn if you get really lucky and also roll. Kinda hot. Okay. Well, fair enough. Tireless Conquerors. Add 1 hit rolls for combat attacks made by bloodbound units that target an enemy unit that is contesting an objective you do not control. And that would be the mortals, right? Okay. Don't like Brass Stampede. I suppose if you're spamming blood letters, you could give them a 5-up ward. That's kind of neat. They have a 6-up ward anyway, right? And sort of no save, but do a lot of mortals. Unless I need to check their thing. Having someone fight right after you is like okay. And then +1 to hit seems just good. Is Cetra in AOS at all? No, in the end times they wrote a send-off for him. You know, I don't serve. He walked into the warp and was never seen again, as far as I recall. I never played Warhammer Fantasy. But I'm told that he kind of walked off into the sunset, and that was it. He was the Egypt the Army guy. That's what I know him from. Egypt the Army guy. But yeah, I started the game with Age of Sigmar, so I don't know any of the... I don't really know much of the Warhammer Fantasy stuff from, what would it be, 10 years ago now. Heroic traits. Firebrand. If this unit is not a priest, it becomes one. That's good. If this unit is picked to be the target of the Murder Lust ability, you can move 6 instead of 3. This is the one that I've played against the most. And it's really, really good. It sort of single-handedly defeated me. But so did the damage. And you could begin the game with a 1 blood tithe point, which is kind of neat because then you can Murder Lust right away. Like on your opponent's turn if they go first. If you want to do that. Murder Lusting 6 is really good with a Bloodthirster though. If by sunset you mean unending hordes of chaos to S laughter them, yeah. Artifacts power. Agath, Argath, the King of Blades. Pick an enemy hero in combat with this unit. Ward rolls cannot be made. Nah. Collar of Contempt. This unit can unbind. That's good. Each time it does D3 to the caster. Alright. And Halo of Blood. Ignore negative modifiers to its control score and to hit rolls. And wound rolls. Alright, I've only ever played against Halo of Blood. Collar seems pretty good too, like getting another unbinder. I don't know how many unbinders we'll end up having here in Khorne, but Yeah, Relentless Hunter. Shit on me, that's for sure. And Halo Blood as well. I distinctly recall him using this because I was playing with a Frost Sword on Stonehorn, and I actually got the Frost Spear. I got in a situation where the Frost Spear was, for the first time ever, going to actually do something and matter. Because it's a really bad ability that never matters. And it didn't last edition either. And I finally got in a situation it was almost going to matter. I dealt damage to a Bloodthirster, and so he was just about to be at -1 to hit. But then this ignored it. And so I'm like, okay. You got your manifestations, they're alright, I guess. And then the prayer lore. Unholy Flames for 5. That's a lot. Pick a visible friendly Blades-Khorne unit wholly within 12. Add 1 to the rend characteristic of the target's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. That's great. In addition, if the chanting roll was 10, add 1 to wound rolls as well. Awesome. 5 is really hard, obviously. You gotta charge it up. For sure. But I like getting more rend in this army. More rend sounds pretty good. Witchbane Curse for 4. Pick a visible enemy wizard with an 18. -1 from their power level to a minimum of 0. You can actually turn off their ability to use spells, because it is on your hero phase, right? So you can target a wizard 1 and then do that before they get the opportunity to unleash spell, which might shut it off. It was 8, inflict 3 mortal damage on the target. Yeah, whatever. Blood Bowl. Pick a visible enemy with an 18. Number of dice equal to the number of models in the target unit. 5 up mortal. Okay. In addition, if the chanting roll was 8, -1 from wound rolls for the target. Okay. Little horde breaker. We are seeing some hordes creep their way back into Age of Sigmar. So, hey, alright. Overall, your prayers are really expensive, but with good effect. Randomly okay, maybe, sometimes. Could, like, totally ruin someone, maybe. But it won't do anything on the opponent's turn. You can't unleash prayer this one, because your opponent is going to be finished casting all their spells by the time you get a chance to do a thing. And then we got a little horde breaker deal. Alright, prayers are okay. And then we got Scar Borand. There he is with a big smile. The Croc Man. The guy who would be really good, except Khorne trolled him so hard that he can't even fly in the game. He has a 5-up ward. He's a War Master, so he has to be your general. Unfortunately, War Master is just a straight downside in 4th. It used to be a good thing. Now it's just a bad thing. 16-4-8, a decent control score. He's got Slaughter and Carnage. Crit Mortal on an 8 damage weapon is fucking hilarious. Well, his unit has 10 or more damage points if it did not use a fight ability last turn, or if it is the first turn of the battle. His Slaughter has +2 attacks, which is alright. That's the, what is it called? Incandescent with Rage. The ability it used to have in 3 was that one, except it was much, much, much better than this. Very watered down. Very watered down. This man always rolls 36 charges. That's great. You love to see it. Since he is very slow and doesn't fly, you need something to give you some reach, right? And then, once return army, any combat phase, roar of total carnage. 3 dice or a number of dice equal to the number of damage points this unit has. For each 4-up, inflict 1. Okay, so 3 dice. You do 1 or 2 mortals, whatever. Or dice equal to the number of damage points it has. So perhaps You know, you have 15 and you're on 1 life left, and then suddenly you're doing a lot. Interesting. Any combat phase. And you got a 5-up ward at least. I forgot to open up the points document. Pardon me. Oziark Boner Eepers. They're Eepin. Alright, where's Blades of Khorne? There we go. I imagine he's going to be like 400 something. I'm wrong. He's a turtle. He's over 1 turtle unit. 510. He's 10 points more expensive than Turda. And he's your War Master, and he can only have demons. Even though he's a War Master. Gross. Oh, all of your Bloodthirsters are like that. That's kind of awkward. Ahem. Yeah, 500's a lot. $500's a lot. Alright, now we got the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. We got a bunch of different types of Bloodthirsters here. There's 3. Daniel Jackson on YouTube, thanks for being a Heywoah enjoyer. Appreciate it. Thanks for signing up. Got Hellfire Breath, 2d6 attacks, 2s and 3s, 1/1, shoot in combat. 16 4-up 12 with a 5-up ward. It's actually just a Stonehorn, right? 16 12 4-up 5-up. Except that's what Bloodthirsters are now. Mighty Axe of Khorne, 6 attacks, 3s and 2s, 2/4, and a hero. I feel like they don't, I don't know, having them happen in the game. They have so few attacks. And there's no like secondary attacks. They're just, you roll some dice and then there's no second profile. It's just either a whole bunch of shit happens or it's okay. It's swingy. Now your profile isn't swingy, obviously, because you get this to 2 if you want it. And so it's just going on 2s, but with so few, it's weird. Pick up to 3 other visible friendly non-unique Bloodthirsters to be the target once per turn in the combat phase. +1 attacks. 3 other visible friendly non-unique Bloodthirsters, okay? Can't do that to Scarbrand. Man costs 510, let him do it. Pick an enemy hero in combat with it, roll 8 dice each, so 4 mortals, okay. Yeah, if he's in combat, that's with a hero, that's pretty good. If that ends up happening. It's more likely for that to happen than normal. On account of the lust. And then Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. Oh, I should probably look up what the Wrath of Khorne costs. 420. Dank memes. Dank meme number. Insensate Rage 16 12 4 5 3 2 2 5. Anti-infantry. Each time you crit, every enemy unit within 8 takes D3. This happened in a few games I saw. It happens more often than you might think. But I still wouldn't count on it. But it's still funny when it does. Shattering Charge. D3 2 up. Alright, yeah, it's the bad D3. If the target is infantry, an additional 3. That's kind of cool. Big charges. I imagine all of these are pretty close in points, right? Yeah, 470. Oh. That's not pretty close. That's approximately 50 points different, according to my quick maths. Okay. I was about to say he's better. But I guess they detected that. And then Unfettered Fury. He's got the Lash. Also a shoot in combat. Beckon the Hunt. Pick a friendly, non-unique Blades of Khorne demon. Which could be you. Rest of the turn add 1 to the number of... Yeah, 36 charge. And himself. I like this one. Unfortunately, it's anti-monster, which isn't a good thing to have right now. But I like him being able to give himself 36 charges. Ensnaring Lash. Pick an enemy monster? Oh no, maybe I don't like him, because now he has all these anti-monster things. Well, he does kind of smack monsters around with this ability. That's true. And I like 3d6 charges, I just do. It's a great ability to have. 440. Yeah, that being said, if you are a Bloodthirster who has a shoot in combat ranged ability, a few attacks, 3d6 to charge, and then yeah, you have anti-monster stuff that could have been better or have a better target. Not like having a ribbon ability, the only unit on a Bloodthirster is, yeah. It just means he could have been better, that's all, right? And then there's Karnak, the funny dog. The three-headed funny dog. Who has Savage Maws and Gore Slick Claws. Pick an enemy hero to be this unit's quarry. You can pick a hero in reserve. First of the pack. Well, this unit is wholly within 12 of a friendly Fleshhounds unit. Add 2 to charge rolls for this unit. In addition, while any friendly Fleshhounds are wholly within 12. Oh, that's how you ignore the beast ability. That's how you get rid of the beast. Cool. This unit's quarry. Move this phase, this unit can move up to 8. It cannot move into combat during any part of that move. But must end it closer to the quarry. Alright. He is useless and bad. Unless I'm missing something. Doesn't matter what he costs. Fleshhound's bad, Karnak bad, does nothing. Skull Taker. He really takes the skulls. This guy really brings the piles out. The Slayer Sword, anti-hero crit. Pick an enemy hero in combat with this unit to be the target. For this turn, while this unit is combat, this unit has strike first, but all combat attacks have to target the hero. Sure, okay. So he's a 5-inch move guy who wants to duel heroes. Good luck with that. Each time you kill a hero, you get double blood tie these. Nope. Fleshhounds. Now, they don't have to have Beast if you take the other guy, but I don't want to. Move 8. Anti-wizard plus 1 rend. They can no longer unbind, which was why they used to be good. Move 8, though. You can do some BTs with that. I don't know what your BT unit is. 110, okay. Yeah. BT unit. And then there's the Blute Master. He is a priest. Oh, nice. The blood must flow. You declared a fight ability. Pick a friendly bloodletters that is not used to fight. If you do so, subtract 1 from ward rolls for damage points inflicted by each of those fight abilities. That's kind of nice. If you're in a Bloodthirster army, you might actually try to play this guy, maybe. He is a priest. It is actually tricky and annoying to get both the unit and the hero that's trying to follow him around into the same combat. It's a little awkward sometimes. But this is a good ability, and he's a priest. So if you're in Bloodthirsters, or Blood letters, I'm sorry, just everything, everything in this book has the word blood in it. Blood letters. If you're doing that, then maybe. What do you cost, guy? What do you cost, Bloodmaster Herald of Khorne? 150. That's maybe a little more than I wanted to pay, but fine. Chat, tell me what to think. Is this army any good? Win percentage statistically, no. In my experience, yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. It's got a real good ability called Murderlust. Does a shitload of damage. The Blades of Khorne army finally does a shitload of damage, which is basically all they ever wanted to do. Forever. And now you got a shitload of damage, so if that's what you were waiting for to get into Khorne, because their damage is historically not great, ever. Now it is. And you'd think it would be. And it's one of the few books you can build in a few different ways, I think. Skullmaster Herald of Khorne. He's riding the thing. If this unit charged, you do a bad impact hit. Once per battle army any charge phase. Pick a friendly Blood Crushers unit. Rest of the turn weapons used by this unit and the target have charge +1 damage. Big hit. Skullmaster, huh? The Master of Skulls. 190, okay. And then we got Blood Letters. The surprised Pikachu ass Blood Letter. These guys always reminded me of the goblins from Diablo 2. Around the Tree of Infuses, or actually, that would be around the stones, not the Tree of Infuses. Not the Tree of Infuses, guarded by Treehead Woodfist, the super unique, and his 4 compatriots. I mean, the stones, guarded by Rakanichu and all of the little goblin friends, and he's always lightning enhanced. Better open that portal. Anyway, what did they do? They got a Hellblood A. They got a... Was this a PS3 game? Am I remembering it right? Or was it a PS4 game, Hellblade? 2-3-3-1-1, Crit Mortal. You get 10 of them. You could get 20 of them. So you have 40 attacks with Crit Mortal. Stopped listening there. It's great. And if it's in combat, you can return slain models to the unit. Hey, not bad. You could play them. You could do the Bloodletter thing. They do a bunch of mortal wounds. That's great. There's a million of them. They kind of regenerate. Fun. These guys were good in like first edition, and then they were mostly bad forever, and now they're, I think, playable. I don't know how good they are, but it seems like you could do some stuff with those stats. Imagine all the awesome Demon Core infantry resculpts they could do in the modern age, yeah. Get in line. A lot of armies have stuff like that. But also, yeah, probably. And then Blood Crushers. These don't look good. I mean, the other guys didn't look good either, but these don't look good. Anti-infantry, still crit mortal, 2 attacks a model, but now only 3 models in the unit. I'm not... And then they have the bad impact hit. 3 for 200. Well, you get 3 for 200 instead of 2 for 200 like Mornfang. And that comes with 15 health. 8-inch move, 4-up save, 6-up ward. No, I don't think so. doesn't immediately appear to be exciting to me. Skull Cannon, the thing that was good for 2 weeks by accident. Burning Skulls, 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, 1d3, shoot in combat. 4 Hellblades with Crit Mortal. If any enemy units are slain by a fight ability used by this unit. A fight ability? Well, maybe if they have 1 wound, sure. This unit can immediately shoot as if it were your shooting phase. Fire the cannon. If any damage points are allocated to an enemy unit by a shoot ability used by this unit, subtract 3 from the control score. Yeah. Okay. 150. 150. 180. I was closer than I thought I would be. It's cheaper than I thought they would have made it. And then the Blood Throne, which is a priest. Okay. So you got the roll of 4 up, bring back 10 Bloodletters ability. Well, that's a good ability to have if you're in a Bloodletters army. Blood Throne, huh? $210. Or you could take just 10 more Bloodletters, though. And that's kind of like reanimating a dead unit of Bloodletters, except you get to start with them. I guess he's a priest, I suppose. Like, that's something. Being a hero is bad, though. Like, you don't want to have to take another hero. You want to use the best heroes. Claws of Karnak. Oh yeah, the dog boys. The cosplayers. In the deployment phase, you can use a normal move, which is good for turn 1 battle tactics if you're forced to go first, I guess. Pack Hunter. Well, this unit is wholly within 12 of a friendly Fleshhound's unit. It crits on a 5-up instead of a 6. And then Realmgate Ritualist. This was the Khorne War clan that really, really missed. That hard missed. Like, everything looks dumb. This symbol is cool, I guess, at the top of the staff. But, yeah. Don't do this anymore. They're experimenting, but don't do that. Mighty Lord of Khorne. About to get a new model guy, probably. This is the generic version of Korgos Coolio. Axe of Khorne, Fleshhounds, Blood Dark Claws. Blood Dark Claws. I had to read that one a second time. Anti-Wizard. Add 1 the charge rolls friendly bloodbound infantry units while they're wholly within 12. Okay. Big friendly gore chosen unit. And you have strike first. Your combat phase only, though. I want strike first on my opponent's turn, not mine. Mighty Lord of Khorne. Simply useless. Lord of Khorne on Jugs. Just Hero Cav. Gore chosen are mortal heroes, yeah. No more Coolio. After the Nova show, you're not sure how many more Warcry Underworld warbands we're going to get. I hope it's none. But, this guy wasn't that. He was, like a hero in proper AOS. And featured prominently in the Realmgate Wars against Vandus Hammerhand. And he had the most badass fucking bad guy speech ever to him in their most recent conflict. And it was awesome. And so now I like him. Look forward to seeing his new model. Yeah, he was the very first starting box hero for Khorne. Load a Khorne on Juggernaut. If it charged, you do the bad type of impact hit. If this unit charged for the rest of the turn, the following effects apply to all friendly Blades of Khorne cavalry units while they're wholly within 18. Big range. +1 charge rolls, you can reroll charge rolls. Okay, kind of nice. Still wouldn't play him, I don't think. But kind of nice. Bloodsecrator. Reroll the mortal roll, not the charge roll. Oh, it's the crushing. Okay. Diabletus. I was skimming. I caught myself skimming. You were right. It is the, you can reroll the shitty impact, not the charge roll. Okay. Alright. So he is trash. Never mind, he's not even close to good. Got it. Bloodsecrator. Look at this fucking dude. The stupidity of it. The man they have refused to sell separately. Once per battle army, any combat phase. Add 1 attacks characteristic of melee weapons by mortal units. If friendly bloodbound unit would use rally, you can make 3 additional rally rolls at d6. All the Khorne players I've talked to are actually happy that this guy sucks now. Well, it's not that he sucks. It's just his normal thing is only a once per game instead of always. They're like, they don't want to have to play this taxman. They're like, finally, we can just play something else. I don't know if that's the sentiment from all Khorne players, but it's the ones that have been talking to me about it. Anyway, good riddance. You look kind of stupid. They never sold you separately. He was partially responsible for some of the most annoying, tedious Venn diagrams of murder gameplay. Rest in piss. Scar Bloodwrath. This guy looks so stupid. He looks so dumb. Murderous Paragon. This unit is in combat. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic melee weapons used by friendly Wrathmongers while they are wholly within 12 of this unit. Slaughterborn. This unit can use this ability if it has been destroyed. 2d6, 8 up, setup replacement. If you cost actual nothing and you're a free hero, maybe. Scar Bloodwrath. You're pretty expensive. And you're not a free hero. So that is 2 strikes, you're out. Nope. Heywoah, a streamer changed late AF raid message IG. Pardon? Yeah, Bloodsecrator is a free drop, you're right, Diabolus. But once a game, mortal only? Nah. No thanks. I appreciate that it doesn't have a range. That's very nice. But no thanks. They were AFK watching a different streamer. Oh, okay. Hey, welcome, in that case. Welcome to Khorne. Slaughter Priest. This is the second best model. My man is big priestin, wide priest gaming. Once per turn army, you can sacrifice on a 2-up, you get a blood tithe point, big. And Scorn of Sorcery. You can unbind as if you were a wizard. Nice. Slaughter Priest is great. I like him. We got Skull Grinder. I mean, I should look up his price, I guess, but I just like him. I just like him. Yeah, 160 is a lot for a Slaughter Priest, though. 160 is expensive. Why are you that expensive? Because you can unbind, which is good, and because you can farm Blood Tithe, which is also good. Also, you're like 7'5". I guess. Yeah, you know, that's probably worth it. But 160 feels a little high. But he's good, and I'd probably play one. And we got the dude who Frank likes, but unfortunately, he's always like really, really bad. And so Frank is just always sad about it. Pyre on YouTube. Heywoah judges ability quality the way I used to judge magic items in D&D 3.5. Oh, it works once per day. Is it earth-shattering? No. Trash. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, in D&D, if it's a magic item, that's fine. You got a whole bucket of them. You got a backpack filled with magic items. I love once-a-day magic items. You just have a bandolier. Ooh, I'm going to use this one and then put it in the pack. I'm going to use this other one. That's fun. I like little reusable, you can use it every day, find a reason to use it. That kind of thing is cool. With this, you gotta pay for all of those once an entire game. Nah. Or like how I choose commander cards. Yeah, the spell's pretty good, but you don't get to cast it every turn. You don't get to recur it every turn, or you can't dredge it back, or it doesn't have flashback or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. You can't retrace it. You know, if a spell's worth casting once, it's worth casting every turn for the next 45 minutes, am I right? Anyway, we got Skull Grinder. He has the Brazen Anvil. Bone Crushing Strikes. If this unit uses a fight ability, all the attacks target the same monster, and any of the attacks score a crit, the monster has strike last for the rest of the turn. Bad. Once per battle army deployment phase. Tempered Fury. Pick another friendly hero with an 8. Pick one of the target's melee weapons, add one to the rend. Oh, because so the lore of this guy is that he swings an anvil around on a chain, and the anvil is also on fire. Which is why Frank likes him, because he's preposterously dumb. But that's funny. And so they finally gave him a little flavor ability, right? Like, he is smithing some other hero's weapon and he makes it better. He gives a +1 rend for the rest of the battle. That's cool. I think that's cool. You don't even have to roll for it. Can this guy be 60 points and a free drop just so you can do the funny thing? I'd probably play him at that cost. $150. Oh, he is technically maybe free. Okay, we're half there. He costs exactly double what he should. I'm serious. He should cost 70 points. And then he'd be really cool. 150, no. But he's cool. Well, he's not cool, but I like the Tempered Fury ability. I like how he blacksmiths for you. That's funny. I wish he cost 70. Tempered as any Khorne mortal hero, at least. Yeah, that's fun. Aspiring Deathbringer. The man with the funny hat. He has some attacks. They don't have abilities. He has good armor. Furious War Leader. Pick a friendly Blood Warriors unit that has not used a fight ability. Okay. If it is picked to do so, add 1 to wound rolls for attacks. Okay, +1 to wound is good. Like, that's alright. It's gonna be tricky to get him into the same combat as somebody else, but at least it makes your guys have a bonus. I don't like the ones that pull someone else in and just let them fight, because why? You know, but the ones that give a bonus, that is something. Aspiring Deathbringer, he sounds like one of your free guys, and he is, and he's 130. I might play this guy, maybe. Obviously, if you're on Blood Warriors or Mortals, right? But I like the fact that his ability is an actual buff instead of nothing like the other one. Now, it's true he can't do anything, but he's not a drop, so he's a maybe. 130 isn't too crazy for that. Exalted Deathbringer. Deathbringer. Any damage points were allocated to any enemy units by this, and it was destroyed, heal 5, and give it a glorious ascent token. Add 1 tax characteristic of this unit. Trash. Blood Reavers. Minecraft looking ass sculpts. Add 1 to rend if they charged. Okay. Well, here's the thing about Blood Reavers. From my recollection, they are what is known as chaff. And so as long as they cost almost nothing, and 100 qualifies, then they're neat. I think what is it? Fleshhounds 110 are in contention for a BT thing or chaff. Blood Reavers 100 for BT or chaff. Claws of Karnak 120 for BT unit or chaff. You got some options there for just thing. Mighty Skulk Rushers. You get 3 of them. They have a 2-up base save. The God of Destruction's base save from 3rd edition. Recently downgraded to a 4-up. 3, 3, 3, 1, 3. Sorry, 2 on the charge. If this unit charged, do the not fun roll. And that's it. Okay, well, here's the thing. They don't do a lot of damage. And they're not particularly fast. But they have control 2 and a 2-up base save. So if your opponent isn't doing mortal wounds, they're invincible. Johnny 2-up over here. But what do they cost? Mighty Skulk Rushers. 260 for 3. That's entirely too much. But I appreciate that they do more damage than they used to. Parenthetical. They used to do 0. Now they do a real number above 0. Skull Reapers. Oh, the chin. The chin on this man. Look at this fucking symbol. Holy. Now, these dudes always looked like they slapped. They looked like they did so much damage. And then you opened the book, and it always had a damage characteristic of 1. And I didn't understand what they were thinking. But now in 4th edition, they looked at this model, and they're like, this doesn't strike me as a 1 damage model. And they were right. And they condensed all the stupid different weapon it's just good. 4 attacks. 4s and 3s, 1, 2, crit mortal. 3, 4. Now the Trial of Skulls, they have this who fucking asked journal entry personal history montage. If this unit destroyed an enemy unit this turn, add 8 to its control score. If it did not, It has a control score of 1 that can't be modified. This ability is really weird and doesn't play well. Like, sometimes it doesn't work for weird reasons, and sometimes it does work for weird reasons. The fact that this ability is maybe a little poorly thought out and doesn't necessarily play great, don't worry about it. Here's the long and short of it. The Skull Reapers will fight something, and when they fight that thing, it's fucking dead. And so it doesn't matter what their control score is. You can't capture a point if you are dead. They finally reap the skulls. They're 5 for 220. This price does not need to go up. They're good. They're good where they are. They're fun detected and allowed. And by fun, if we use Google Translate, fun means damage. And then you have these stupid guys. Here they are, the Wrathmongers. They got Wrath Flails, 4-4-3-1-1, crit 2 hits. They have Blood Fury. Each time an unmodified hit roll for a combat attack targets this unit is 1. Inflict a mortal. So each time their opponents absolutely nat 1, they die. They actually die. And then Crimson Haze. While this is in combat at 1 attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by bloodbound units, including them that are wholly within 12. Wholly within 12 is a lot more generous than it used to be. And you just kind of line them up and you can do the thing with them. They do the thing. What's nice about Wrathmongers is they are a non-hero that issues your guys a buff that you would normally be getting from a hero. And as a non-hero, they don't have to be an entire drop. So I actually like them. Wrathmongers. They're 150 for 5. They even cost the same amount as you would have paid for the foot hero. This unit, it's a foot hero with 15 wounds. What's not to like? Maybe what they look like, but you know what? You're leaning into it. This is the fun of it. This army must look better in person with different paint jobs, right? Very much so. Yeah. A lot of this army is still like hella dumb, but it looks way better in person with good paint jobs and stuff. Yeah. I should say that hella dumb is on purpose. It's a comedic army. You're supposed to like laugh when you're looking at it, but in a fun way. Like you're getting into the character of it. Like, look at this, is actually Judge Dredd in a football uniform. Like, that's funny. Isn't it? I don't know, to me it is. This is Judge Dredd in football attire, holding an axe with goalposts for a helmet. That's great. Bro doesn't watch football. It's true that I don't, yeah. I don't know too much about football. But he kind of looks like he has the shoulder pads for it. Anyway, these are Blood Warriors. Whenever they die, sometimes when they die, they explode and punish you for attacking them. 3 up base save, 2 wounds, big. And decent amount of attacks that do stuff. They're good. You get 10 of them. They are your Chaos Warriors. They're the Khorne's answer to Chaos Warriors. And you got your 3-up save. They're 210 points for 10. They're just very equivalent to Blood Warriors, or sorry, to Chaos Warriors. Every Chaos Warrior block of 10 you will ever fight will be marked Nurgle, and so they're much harder to kill than these. But these guys do more damage, and when you kill them, sometimes they blow up. Fair's fair. Ahem. Bloodthirster. The big boy. What do you do? You can whip into Furry. Pick a friendly non-hero bloodbound unit. For the rest of the turn, you can run and charge. That's good. That's worth doing. That's a good ability. Stud Blorker. Are you a free drop? Ding, ding, ding. Free drop. Let's go. And only 110. As Frank points out in the chat. You don't actually need this guy because Murderlust is so OP. But if it gets balanced in some way, which would be weird because Khorne statistically isn't doing well, so why would you nerf an army that's doing not well, right? But you do have an answer to that just in case. When they nerf Murderlust, this guy's stocks go up and he'll be a free drop. Khorne. And then Bleeding Icon. Sigil of Doom, 2d6 on an 8-up. That command has no effect. Opponent can declare a command for a unit with an 8, huh? Sure. Okay. It can't move, and you have to use the command with an 8, so that's pretty... What's the word? Bad. Hexgorger Skulks. When a number of damage points equal to the manifestation's health is allocated to it, it is destroyed, and both parts are removed. Each time it moves, both parts have to be within 8 of each other. And each part has this thing. So technically, if they're both attacking, it has 4 attacks. Yeah, Khorne's sacred number is 8. Yeah. Hexgorges. For each part of this that is within 8 of a wizard, -1 from casting rolls. It moves 8. These are not good either. I don't think. They don't read good to me. In the games that they were summoned against me, they never did anything, but then again, I lost really hard, so maybe I lost too quickly for them to matter. -2 to casting can be annoying. If you summon them within 8 of your opponent, like, if you're within 8, if your priest is within 8 of a wizard, to summon them maybe. I guess. I don't know. It didn't matter in my game. I could see it mattering in a Stars Align situation. Or maybe they just can't get rid of them, or they fail to on a particular turn, and it really hooks into their wizardry, maybe. I think their range is just too small. And then the big axe. The Wrath Axe looks sweet. Only 3 attacks is kind of sad. 3/2, 2d3 though. Pick up to 3 enemy units that have passed across, and then d3, it's the thing. Okay. These are not exciting, any of them. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think your manifestations are really that good. And they really should be, because, so, stop me if I'm saying things that are crazy, but I think the generic manifestations should be, in general, not great, because they're for everybody. But then the specific ones you get for your army, right? Those should be like really good, or at least better than the generic ones. You would think that the specific ones would be better than the generic ones. But it's exactly the opposite. I think that's weird. And also there's no generic priest ones, which is also kind of weird. Because there are armies like mine that have priests but no, manifestation lore to choose for priests. Anyway, then we got the Skull Altar, which is a little gazebo-looking manhole cover thing that your man stands on top of. And it does something, and I can't remember what it does. There's a bunch of rules for, like, this is how your man stands on it. He's man standing. Alright, words of hate. Well, the terrain feature has a priest on top of it, right? It has to be a priest. Okay, so when your slaughter priest is standing on it. Plus when the chanting rolls. Great. Cannot use move abilities. Well, okay, I guess that's how you stand on it. Instead of measuring range and visibility, you measure it from the terrain feature instead. That's good. All attacks that would target the invoker target the terrain feature instead. Good. If this terrain is destroyed, he tumbles off of it. Okay. Is that it? Alright, a friendly unit within 18 of this terrain feature was picked to be the target of an enemy spell. Okay. 5 up, you get a Blood Tithe. And you ignore it. The terrain feature can't be... this terrain feature can use this ability more than once per phase, but you can only roll once for each friendly unit per spell cast. Okay. Sure. Very unlikely to work. 5 up. That sucks. But you probably get to roll it a lot, maybe late game or something. Used to be their army roll, yeah. I mean, it's free and it's not bad. It's probably pretty rare, but you'll probably get to roll it a decent amount. Why is this 18? It's not tied to an 8 multiple? Okay, so it says 8. That's the number. They just added 10 to it. 8's your number. They did it. Stop it with the 8 shit. Alright, hey, +1 chanting rolls. I was sold when I read this one sentence already, right? Anything else is sure, extra, fine. Your manifestations are not good. Korgorath, for what it's worth, this guy has never been good, but he is worse than ever, which is pretty amazing. This guy's waiting for Murderlust to get nerfed and then he'll be good. Blood Warriors are good. Wrathmongers are heroes that don't take up a hero slot. Skull Reapers do a shitload of damage just like they always should have and how we always wanted them to. These guys kind of suck. Well, they don't kind of suck. They're really expensive and they have a 2-up save. That's cool. These are good chaff. This guy does nothing. This guy's maybe useful as a bonus man if you're playing Blood Warriors or something. That's kind of cool. This guy costs more than he should. Slaughter Priests are good. You don't have to play this guy anymore. The dog cosplayers are actually good chaff, I think. Check the Korgorath points as a funny joke. Oh no. 170. Man, I wouldn't pay 100 for him. I'm gonna give you 100 points to fuck off. And what else? Blood Letters are possibly playable even. Blood Letters do a bunch of mortals. The Bloodthirsters are good. The one thing I was looking at... What did you play, Frank? Khorne Legion, Murder Host, Brass Stampede, Bloodbound Warhorde. Was it this one? It was Khorne Legion. Oh, yeah. Boomthirster into a 20 block of warriors, big swing, double swing. And normally it's difficult to line these things up, but that Bloodthirster probably has a 6-inch Murder Lust, perhaps. I didn't think this is that great, because your guys are just going to die anyway, those. Strike first, you don't care. This is like maybe alright. But hoofing your way all the way to something with an enemy on it might be a little tricky. You actually don't care about priest anymore besides the slaughter priest? Yeah, that's what I looked at. Mostly because you ran out of slots, right? Anyway, I think it's cool. This book remembered fun a lot more than the average book, I think. 6-inch Murder Lust is nuts. Fun Aloud. Does it stay? Is this the only book that stays in Fun Aloud? Is there enough good stuff in it? And the things that aren't fun in it are more a property of how the core rules let them down and army building has let them down in a way? Or is there enough stuff in their book that isn't really that great, even though a lot is, that it goes down into nice? Because that was the case here. The top 6 units in the Slaves book are almost Fun Aloud, but then there's like 30 other units that are just all whatever. I think it actually goes here. I don't think fun is allowed fully, really, in everything. I mostly judge it based on how many things appear playable. Not entirely, but... I had fun playing against Khorne in my many Khorne games. I got absolutely butt blasted into the stratosphere each game. But I had fun and I thought Khorne was really cool. I was like getting destroyed and I'm like, that's really cool. Oh, neat. That's a cool trick. That's pretty good. I have no chance at all, but that thing's really sweet. And I don't know, it's kind of a good thing when that can happen. Highest possible praise, I guess, yeah. The Halo 2 of Blood as well. Let's go. Manifestation lore. Alright. There it is. Look at this dude. He's in the Jeb Bush pose. It's all Jeb. Ah. Got a lot of duds with the Mortal Heroes. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of duds. Maybe that's something that... I was going to say maybe that's something to talk about, but me and every other content creator I've ever heard of have been complaining for 4 editions now that Games Workshop can't seem to write a book that isn't filled with 2/3 duds. So, hey, maybe next time. When they gave us 6 artifacts in the book and only 1 was good, and now there's 3 artifacts in the book and only 1's good, it's like, okay. Is there an internal memo where you're just not allowed to write any more than 1 good one? Or what? Maybe, here's my, tinfoil hat. When they're making the books, they just choose. So, the Khorne Army and Khorne Heroes, they give them the one that you know is good the first time you read it, right? That's the artifact. And then they have 1 trait. And then that's how they balance, like, they play test with those. And then right before they ship, they just type out 2 minutes before it goes to print, they just type out 2 other random things that aren't never even intended to be played with, right? Just to make it look like you have a choice. But really, they were always planning on the one that's obviously the one you take to be the one that you take. And the others are typed up by an intern in exactly 35 seconds off the top of their head. Just to make it look like there's something on the page. You somehow deluded yourself into thinking this would be the edition where foot heroes were going to be good. It's actually the opposite. They've never been worse. Which is impressive. But I think that army, the way that you build armies this edition really needs to change. For the good of the edition. Because everybody likes 4th edition right now, and I do too. But if we're playing with this army, the way you build armies for the next 4 years, I think it might sour it. But it's so easy to fix, I think, so that there's like a positive spin on that. Maybe they just need more time in their development cycle so they can actually write more thought out options. Maybe. There's a bunch of reasons why they might be doing a bad job and always have been doing a bad job at that job. Maybe it's they don't have enough time, or their bosses told them to do a bad job on purpose as a giant joke to everybody. I don't know. Like, there's a whole bunch of reasons that it could be. But the fact remains that they aren't. Killing Battleshock was a good move, but big blocks are gonna rule without serious horde breakers. Well, the horde breaker is the other big block, right? Everybody has a horde breaker, and it's so I have my big block and you have your big block, and those are the horde breakers. It's just whichever one fights gets them, you know. Ahem. You should do it like War Machine, where your hero gives you points to spend instead of costing you points. Interesting. So the more heroes you take, the more points you get to spend, huh? Huh. That would be a lot different. I don't think Marathi would give you points, but I assume you mean like foot heroes. That being said, Frank, I agree. Killing Battleshock was a really good idea. And 3-inch combat range was a really good idea that really does speed up the game. But I don't. Did they really factor in that you're doing maybe double damage, sometimes even triple damage now with everything that's not a monster? I don't know. Did they factor that whole consequence in? I don't know. Yeah, Khorne lost a lot of. Well, I mean, everybody lost a lot of stuff. And Khorne lost a lot of stuff too. They just kept more than most armies did, kinda. It's like the main reason why nobody can be in Fun Allowed tier by the time it gets right down to it. Because the armies lost too many interesting things. Even the good armies and the fun ones lost too much this edition. Stormcast is in a rough place regardless. I mean, Stormcast has kind of always been in a rough place. IJ lost everything. Yeah, Ironjaws lost everything. Beastclaw Raiders lost everything. A bunch of people lost stuff, and a bunch of people lost most. Some people lost most stuff, even. But, I don't know. From that one thing, there's only... Here... they left you with... Remember the article. Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember the article. They left us with the most massive cope ever, which was, well, the Stormcast and Skaven tomes are the same, basically, as the faction focus. Some armies might get changes in their battle tome, and that's all we have to hold on to anymore. The strands are fraying. the claws on the windowsill are just peeling the paint off. This is the last hope. Blech. FEC is a war scroll army with bad war scrolls. I mean, not, well, yeah. They just need another 10% and they're good. I like Big Oosh. I like that guy. That guy's funny. But yeah, I mean, even when we were going over FEC and reading the army's rules, it's like, hey, when your foot heroes enter combat and kill stuff, you get these points. And I'm like, do you play this game? What do you mean when your foot heroes enter combat and kill stuff? What do you mean? When do we go back to playing third? Never. No. If I'm gonna play an old edition of Age of Sigmar, it ain't gonna be third, friend. That's for fucking sure. No way, no how. No, I'll just play fourth. Fourth is good despite all of our complaining. It's better than third, that's for sure. Yeah, Gentleman's second with realm artifacts. Amulet of Anvil of Apotheosis for your special hero. Now that's narrative, right? It'll be great. And then we'll misremember all the second edition rules into the quality of life ones from fourth, and it'll be the best shit ever. Real battle plans like the orb. It's wild they just straight out told us they did no work on Skaven and Stormcast. I agree. That's wild. I thought they were gonna do something. Isn't that funny how pathetic that sounds when I say it out loud? I almost stopped myself when it was happening. I mean, you were here. I really thought they were gonna do something. Damn. It's a good thing that I have managed to, like, my jimmies can't be rustled by this because I just don't care enough for that to be the case. So it's kind of funny. I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of funny. And then they're gonna take all the rules away that you got for free. And even though your rules are not changing, you still can't use them unless you on the phone app unless you QR code the book you bought. I love it. Dude, it's never been a better time to buy. Log in. Damn, this shit's sick. Hey, thanks for watching. I gotta go early tonight. I apologize for it. But I do have to leave the Wizard Tower tomorrow morning. But on the plus side, I'll get to stop by the farmer's market. And then I can tell you about, hopefully, we'll get some protesters. Because those are always fun to watch. And pick up some fine cuisine. Buy this new book for $75 US or whatever. $50, 75, who knows? You know, get a Danish. Anyway, I'll see you guys Monday. And stay safe out there. Have a good day. Oh, next week, Rifts. Let's fucking go.